Why? What happened? He was just in the house of God worshiping a little bit ago. That's where we found him. Now he's killing the men he was worshiping with. Now he's killing the priest. What happened? He wanted to look good in front of Saul. He wanted to look good. He's a man of authority. He's a man of position. He wants to impress his boss. And so he wants to look good for people and ignores God. And so because he cares more about people than God, he did it. Because he cares more about position and power and money and riches and wealth, he did it. He slaughtered the priests and their families, their children. This is a terribly wicked thing. Why? Because he wanted to look good in front of people. Don't miss that. Do we ever kill what God's doing? Do we ever wear the name tag that says I'm a Christian and then wear the name brand clothes that says I'm the world? Do we ever, God's moving or doing something, but we have a problem with that person or what's going on, so we gossip about him and we bad talk it and we kill what God's doing? Don't we do the same thing in a different way? Do you assassinate the character of God by putting God's stamp of approval on things that have nothing to do with God, on things that God are far from? God says, don't do it, and you say, that's okay, I'm a Christian, you can do it. Ka-chink. And people follow you because you just killed the character of God. You just said God is just God. He is worlds away from that. He's the enemy of that. James 4:4 is one of my favorite verses. It says, you foolish people, don't you know that a friendship with the world is hatred towards God? Hatred. That's a pretty strong word, hatred. You can't have both. You can't be both. You can't love the world and love God. It has to be one or the other. It's just bad. This is my last scripture, Psalm 52, if you want to turn there. This whole killing the priest event was so traumatic to David that he wrote a psalm about it. It moved him so much that he wrote a psalm, Psalm 52. The title says, for the choir director, the Psalm of David, regarding the time that Doeg the Edomite told Saul that Ahimelech had given refuge to David. Psalm 52, verses 1 through 3. You call yourself a hero, do you? Why do you boast about this crime of yours? Why have you disgraced God's people? All day long you plot destruction. Your tongue cuts like a sharp razor. You're an expert at telling lies. You love evil more than good, and lies more than truth. Selah. Do you love evil if it profits you? Do you love evil if it's fun? Do you love evil if it's whatever? Do you love evil if it makes you look good in front of people? If it helps you get the right friends? If it helps you look important and not get picked on? Do you love evil? That's such strong language there. You love evil. I found myself doing this a lot in my life, and it's sick. Do you ever pick God up when you need him and set him down when you don't? Do you ever, is God just a prop in your life that when you need him you can pick him up, when you don't you can set it down? That makes you stronger than God. That makes you bigger than God. If you think that you can pick him up when you want him, put him down when you don't want him, you're the genie in the bottle, you're just rubbing it. If that's our mindset, if that's the way we're thinking, then we don't believe anything that's right about God. We don't believe that he's the all-powerful creator of the universe. We don't believe that he spoke this world into being. We don't believe any of that. We're just using God. We're just using him because it'll help us. And then we'll move on and use something else because that'll help us. And then we'll love evil for a while. That'll help us. And we'll come back and love God for a while. That'll help us. That's sick. That's sick. And we all do it. All of it. We want one thing and then we want another. And you can't have both. You can't. You can't live on both sides of the fence. You can't. It's just not right. So, compare and contrast. Well, what do these two people have in common? These are total opposites. Well, I'm glad you asked. The first thing that's very fascinating about the Bible, and one of my favorite things, is name definitions. And I know you think, hey, he's such a nerd. Name definitions. What people's name is in the Bible, what it means, is exactly who they are. Every time, 100 out of 100, boom, boom, boom. Obed-edom. Anytime you see the word Obed in the Bible, the name Obed, it's like the word obey. Obed, obey. It means servant. Like the name Obadiah is servant of the Lord, Obed. So Obed-edom means servant of Edom. Now the word Edom is a country, and it translates a couple different ways. One way is red, and the other way is blood. So you can translate the name Obed-edom into servant of the blood. As Christians, we're supposed to be servants of the blood. We're supposed to follow God, follow His blood, follow what He's doing all the time. Give Him everything. Serve the blood. Serve the blood. It's the blood that made us clean. It's the blood we need to follow. It's the blood we have to go after. Servants of the blood. Now, Doeg, of course, ironically, means timid or fearful. Do you ever feel timid or fearful around people? Somebody in authority, the king? You just collapse under pressure because you want to look good, timid or fearful? Are you afraid of people? Are you sold out for God? Sold out. When you go to the Coke machine, you put your money in and you really want that Sprite or whatever. You push it in, it says sold out. What does that mean? That means there are no more. There's not a piece of you left. If you are sold out, there's no more of you left. You've given it all to God. There's no more for anybody else. Somebody comes along trying to take a little of you, wants a piece of you. I can't. I'm sold out. Sorry, God got it all. I don't have any more for you. I'm out. I'm sold out. I love you. You're a good person, but I love God more. You know, it's you're important. I'm sold out. There's none. Zero. There's not one little tiny piece of you that you can have because He has it all. That's it. Sold out. God, are we sold out? Sometimes. Sometimes we're not. The biggest thing they have in common is the fact that they both have tragedy in common. Before the ark comes, though, somebody dies. Tragedy. What do you do in the face of tragedy? What do you do when life gets really, really hard? Up in Tennessee, where I grew up, I had two friends, and I just love them both. They're wonderful, great people. They got married, and newlyweds are happy, everything's going good. And 3 months into their marriage, the husband just decides, you know what, I don't want this anymore. Leaves the house, leaves the city, leaves the state, gone. What do you do like that? It's been a really long time. And she's waiting on him. She says, God gave me my husband, and God's going to give him back to me. And she has great faith. In the face of tragedy, she stands strong. I have another friend, another married couple, out in L.A. They got married a little bit after Tiffany and I came here, so about a year ago, and they just had a miscarriage. The first year of their marriage. What do you do in the face of death? What do you do when it really, really hurts? But God has blessed them nonetheless. The husband is the lead guitarist for the Dream Center's Praise and Worship Band. And God has just opened crazy doors for their worship band team. They got a CD recorded recently with Universal Records, which is a pretty big deal. On top of that, it was successful. Their CD came out at number 2 on the Christian charts, and number 45 on the secular charts. That's huge. They were on the Today Show this Monday. Tragedy, and then a blessing. Death, and then a blessing. Sometimes we have to go through the worst thing possibly imaginable to get to where God's taken us. And it's no fun. To me, Jesus' ancestors is incredibly ironic. The most ironic one has to do with David and Bathsheba. The worst thing that David ever did was adultery with Bathsheba and the murder of her husband. And because of that, the child they had together died. It died. And then, sometime after this, God gave David and Bathsheba another son. And his name was Solomon. He was the wisest man who ever lived. And through him is the line of Jesus. Now, when I first read that, I was like, okay, now God, this can't be right. Somebody, this is a sinful situation. Why are you blessing that? And God said, no, I'm not blessing the sinful situation. I'm blessing him in spite of it. No matter what you go through, no matter what's happened, God can bless you in spite of it. God can come through your circumstance and through your mistake and through your sin after you've had forgiveness, I'm not saying sin is good or awful. God can come through it. God can fix it. God can bring you out better on the other side than you were before. You thought you were good over here. You went through a lot of junk. You're better.